Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rob Sutton. We're back with another review today. Today we are looking at the Uplift version 2 desk and how well it's performed and how we're liking standing while working now. So let's get at it. So before we actually get into the review process and the specs of this desk itself, let's talk about a little bit of the reason that we were looking at a standing desk to begin with. One, I was involved in a pretty major incident at the end of 2018 that causes major blood flow issues in my left leg. It's actually bad enough that if I'm on a flight for more than an hour, doctors say I have to get up every 30 minutes to keep that blood flow going in the leg. So a standing desk is actually really good for me for health reasons because I can work standing up and keep that blood flow in my leg going in and out like it should be. Two, the previous setup in this house we had for my home office was a really nice looking table that we turned into a desk that would look nice in the house out in the open. However, we started to get kind of sick of seeing the back of my white monitor as soon as you ran the front door. So we were looking for an option that would go more against the wall so the monitor would more hide in the room instead of be the forefront right there when you first walk in. So after a lot of research, we landed on this Uplift desk, and what you're looking at here is actually a 72-inch wide version that's 30 inches deep on their dark brown rubberwood hardwood top. I did opt to go with the black legs and the memory control panel and a basic accessory kit for wire management. So while we brought this desk up, let's look into the specs specifically. As I mentioned, this is the 72 wide by 30 inch deep dark brown rubberwood solid wood top. It comes with a 7-year warranty, free shipping. The range of motion is from 25.5 inches to 51.5 inches with this 1-inch top. That gives you 25.6 inches of overall travel. That travel moves at 1.57 inches per second at 50 decibels, so it's pretty quiet. It also can lift up to 355 pounds, which makes it so you can actually get a hammock if you want to that will hang underneath the desk that you can take a nap in at work, I guess. There are multiple top options. One key point on the multiple top options though, if you look on their website and you start going with more premium wood options, it is a gigantic markup. What I found after going through this process of ordering this desk, if you are looking at going with one of those more premium options, you are a lot better off doing one on your own. You can buy just the legs themselves separately and then provide your own top. That would be a lot more economical than going with one of the ones that they have pre-built on their website, as they get really expensive. So with this spec out, once I added the accessory kit and the memory pad, we came out at right around $847. That pricing is about the middle of the range as you're gonna find for standing desks. You can get more boutique options that are a lot more expensive that I didn't really see to be worth it. But most of the other competing brands are right around this range, maybe within $50 of each other, depending on how you spec it out. I did not opt for the commercial version, which has a crossbar across the center. The main reason for that crossbar is it is actually to a very specific height standard. That's an ANSI thing for commercial offices if you have to go by those standards, and it's just not something I needed. So overall, the assembly process on this desk is actually pretty crazy simple. If you could turn a wrench, you could put this desk together. Now keep in mind the legs and some other components, especially this hardwood, can get pretty heavy, so it might require someone else to help you if you aren't able to lift heavier loads. Now some of these little Allen head screws that you have to get into certain parts of the legs can be kind of hard to get to, so you are going to end up using the provided little Allen wrenches that can get kind of annoying to use at times. But overall, it took me about an hour to assemble, and that was even messing with the camera and getting some shots like you see here. So it's really easy to put together, and I really wouldn't worry about being able to do it as long as you have someone to help you lift it back up when you're done. So I did opt to get the basic wire management kit, which I'm really glad I did. It came with all the zip ties and wire management tools I needed to get everything tucked up underneath the desk to where you wouldn't see the wires when you were looking straight at the desk itself. Now keep in mind, with the power strip up in the wire management cage, it does get pretty tight in there, and unluckily for me, I've got some things that require big bricks, but I was able to shove up everything underneath there and make for an overall clean look. So with the basic wire management kit, you do get the plastic sleeve that will hold several wires coming down from the middle of the desk, which are typically like your USB display and power that go to your computer if it's not mounted to your desk itself. As of right now, that hangs down right down the middle. I didn't want to get a privacy panel that hid the wood behind the desk because I thought that would just look worse than a single wire coming down. I am looking into other options on how I can hide that that a little bit better, but keep in mind it is a standing desk, so you do need that adjustment height and the slack in the cable so you don't start pulling on cables that are connected to a computer. So we did opt for the memory control panel upgrade, and I'm really glad that we did, because I'm about 6'2", my wife is somewhere around 5'1", and we're able to have our own sitting and standing presets, and it just goes to that same level every time. It's incredibly easy to set up. You basically just set the desk at the level that you want, hit the M button, hit the preset number, and it's saved, ready to go whenever you come up to the desk the next time. So let's get into my overall thoughts on the desk and how it has performed. So first, the overall design and the spec that we picked for the house, I really ended up liking. It really matches the overall room of the shelves that we built with the pallet wall. The dark rubber wood top with the black legs really blends into the room nicely and looks a lot better than the previous setup we had. So one of the things that actually really surprised me about the desk is how stable it is. Even at full extension, like you see right here, I'm 6'2", and it's still incredibly stable up here at this high height. And it's because you get a lot of overlap in those legs. They say the reason for the crossbar across the commercial version is because you don't get as much overlap between the sections of the legs. With this one you do, so it doesn't need the crossbar, and it really doesn't feel like it needs it either. It's very stable. And the actuation of the legs as you move them up and down is actually smooth enough to where I've had food and drinks on this desk and they don't spill over. The quality of this rubber wood top is actually really nice. It's not as thick as some of the other options at 1 inch, but it was a $0 upgrade to get something that looks really nice and is solid wood. So ironically enough, I found that I really like working standing up, and I actually feel like I'm more concentrated on what I'm working on. Maybe it's because I'm not sitting in an ultra comfortable chair and getting kind of lazy. But I find that I'm more efficient and more focused when I'm standing versus when I'm sitting. It's also really nice to switch back and forth between sitting and standing. It feels like my body just doesn't get into one little rhythm, and I actually feel more energized throughout the day. So if I had one complaint about the desk, it really is that main one wire grouping that comes down from the center of the desk. I am going to try to find ways to kind of cloud it and make it not as visible. But the problem is you can't really attach it to the legs and run it down the leg, because the legs have to be able to telescope up and down. So visually, I wish there was a better way to manage that grouping of wires where it wasn't just a visual thing right down the middle of the desk against the wall. So yeah, overall, I'm loving the new desk setup. Not only is it healthier for my body, but it has somehow made me more efficient at the same time by standing while working. So guys, there's my overall thoughts on the version 2 standing desk from Uplift Desk. If you guys are using a standing desk at your home or office, please let me know what your experience is down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and be sure to just subscribe to this channel for more reviews like this in the future. And until then, on to the next one. See you.